Yo, so in this video, what I want to talk about is the week just gone. I had a $9,390 week. And that's pretty cool considering I work 3 working days now because I want to be a present dad and the model has shifted and I've been doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So sometimes I still can't come to grips with that being my truth. So I'm just forever grateful. And in this video, what I want to do is just, pull back the curtains and actually show you the ins and outs of my proximity offer. So if you've watched any other YouTube videos, you may have seen me talk a lot about this concept of proximity offers, right? And monetizing access, not monetizing products or services. And I always cross-reference the difference between an offer portfolio, meaning you have different standalone offers, which, when you have many of those, there's less leverage, versus having one offer with different levels of proximity, which give you a lot more leverage. But I think by pulling back the curtains here, it'll be really useful for you to actually see. So the only thing I've done in this video is I've hidden the names of clients just out of sheer respect for the game. But, it's just these little things here, but you can see the dates, you can see that the money has arrived. And because of being in Cyprus, we deal with euros. So I've just converted that so you can see. So basically, before we dive into the entire thing, I just wanted you to understand that the proximity offer itself has different modalities, right? Like you can have subscriptions, you can have products that are bought once off, you can have once off pieces like coaching calls or consulting calls, you can have one-on-ones, you can have group tiers, and I'm showing you this from the angle of running a proximity offer in a consulting / coaching container. So what I do is I run Modern Maker. Modern Maker is my community. It has multiple tiers of this access. And I'm just going to run you through all of this. So what you can see here through the last week, I've highlighted bits and pieces to make it easier. But you can see sort of the difference between what I call once-off customers here, repeat customers, and then clients. You can think of once-off customers as just buyers as well, who buy your digital products, they buy your assets that you have. They could be workshops, they could be trainings, they could be whatever you make them be. And then repeat customers are, in my case, in a membership, and that is that modality. They give you a little bit more money, and then you're ascending people into clients, and then even higher ticket clients into like client modality. So hopefully this little doodle sums this up. I wanted to not do it by hand this time, so it's a little bit prettier. But as you can see here, over the last week, I've had some subscriptions that ran legacy stuff in the past that then shifted into proximity. So some of my clients are in subscription territory. And then you can see these little sort of the one-on-one client subscriptions in yellow that are people opting to pay $400 or $200 per week for one-on-one client territory. And sometimes I may remove calls and just give them, either less calls or no call access. And, people pay me. Sometimes it's crazy to think people pay me to exist in that sense where I'm just on WhatsApp, I answer questions. And then the 400 or the 1,600 modality is me rolling up my sleeves, actually getting on Zoom calls on WhatsApp and solving bigger problems, right, on a weekly subscription. So that's that. These little ones are product modalities. So I've got little products left, right, and center in my funnels, bringing me in, 100, 125, 67, 125, and whatnot. And then I just left some of these ones in that don't show names to show you. I plug them in these YouTube videos, on LinkedIn, in my email funnels when somebody goes through. And you can see there's different tiers of products as well, because let's say 47, 99, and 38, some people are buying, even though it's the same product, this person didn't buy the last upsell, for example, versus this one who did, and so on and so forth. Then you've got these orange modalities that essentially are these repeat customers, right? But they're in a membership. So I've got Modern Maker, the community, and then I've got my inner circle, which is the bigger transactions that you saw here that get more proximity to me, right? Whereas these orange ones, people still solve the same problem, but with a lesser level of access, right? So these are where the 50 ones are coming on a weekly basis. Then we've got this 990 that you see here or you see here. I've made it green because I do offer incentives to people depending on the level of access that they have to simply opt into an annual option, right? Like that just happens again, fully automated. I've got two email sequences when somebody opts into weekly to say, hey, you know, if you want to buy annual, then here's this bonus or this incentive. So these little ones pop off, I would say, you know, once or twice a week if somebody's more committed. I see these as a test drive, right? You get someone to trial your offer and you'll see some of these have $9 that then ascend to 50 and then $9.90 because I give someone a trial of the community of, you know, my offer. And then from the trial, they jump into a sort of client level subscription. And then from that subscription, they get this annual. So these little pops are designed that way because you, number one, increase lifetime value, and number two, you get more aligned clients who also commit to long-term commitments. And for me, that is the level of the game that I enjoy playing with. And it's as simple as that in this modality. Then you can see that sort of happening over and over and over again. And then there's other little transactions like this 499 that is not a subscription, right? Versus the other ones that are, which are different containers within that same offer, right? So when somebody's in my community, I can offer like once off coaching calls, right? And then they grab those. So essentially, when you think about it, what I've just described with the 990 or this 499 is I'm meeting someone where they're at with the level of accountability and support that they need by simply allowing them to either upgrade or downgrade. So in this case, the person who didn't upgrade to this modality and got this one, that was like a package of consultancy calls versus this person who still got a consultancy call but also updated annually, right? So I give the ability for my clients to downgrade and upgrade depending on their needs. It just so happened to be like I want to be as authentic as possible. This week there was no bigger upgrade. Like I've got other tiers of access that range in the 3 and the 5K range where people will buy annuals of that, or some of these that you see, I get clients working with me one-on-one at the 400 level proximity. We'll do that for like 8 to 12 weeks. I'll sort of roll my sleeves up, do what I have to do, and then they'll downgrade back to this level. So in essence, you're not losing out on clients. You're basically allowing them to get the help and the support that they need depending on whichever tier they're on. And it's amazing to see because then you don't have to be on the client acquisition or customer acquisition train all the time. You then make more from the existing clients that you have. And that is the beautiful part about this proximity offer, right? Many get stuck in, where is it? In the offer portfolio land, right? Versus other people who can just simply have one proximity offer and live in proximity offer land, which is a lot more present. So I said present, I meant pleasant. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of the ins and outs of the different modalities when it comes to subscriptions, products, memberships, once-off pieces, calls, higher tiers of access in real time. I don't think I've done this before, but it gives you a little bit of an insight onto how you can think of your one offer with multiple tiers of proximity. And as you can see, the beautiful part of this is people start their journey and, you know, they might give me $9 and then never ever give me anything else. And that's okay. They buy a once-off product. I still do my best. whereas others might give me over time $20,000 to $40,000 a year because we're changing the modalities, they're getting results, and I'm sort of helping them get those results as well. But it all depends on where you are. I always see this exercise as buyer intent, right? What is the intention that you have, and where can I meet you? So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.